Hello, my name is Yogeswari. I'm originally from Switzerland, but I've lived in New York since the early 80s. I'm originally a dancer and choreographer and have been a Jivamukti yoga teacher since 1999. I was an artist. I came from the dance world. I was really part of that whole sort of underground avant-garde arts community of the East Village in the 80s, and that's where Jivamukti emerged from. And when I stepped into Jivamukti, the two things that grabbed me the most were the activist side of it, and also that it contained a lot of artistic elements, and a lot of the teachers and the students were artists like myself. Well, I think that yoga is based on lineage teachings, so it makes you stronger when you can stand upon the shoulders of your ancestors, which means that you have a tradition of teachers behind you. I also think that it is good for some time to follow one method and to understand it well, and then I think you can follow or climb into any method that you please, because you understand the fundamental idea of yoga. My strength is that I have a lot of energy and that I have a good understanding, at least in this method of Jivamukti, I have a good understanding of movement because I have a dance background, so sequencing for me comes easy. What also comes easy is that Jivamukti yoga has a little bit of a performance art collage type of creative process, which I think also through my background is a strength for me. New York has something special because it has always had a very cutting-edge arts community, a cutting-edge intellectual community with influences from people from all over the world. That's what's kept me here. I think teaching yoga or practicing yoga in New York is also being on the edge because you have so many irritating factors that you have to work extra hard to keep your peace and calm and equanimity in New York. It's kind of like what Swami Satchidananda said, you hone your meditation skills to such a degree that you could be sitting in the middle of Fifth Avenue and be undisturbed meditating. That's the challenge in New York. And teaching, the challenge is that, especially when you're making a living off of teaching in New York, is that you're constantly in traffic, you're constantly running up and down the city, going to private students, going to teach classes, and that can be very, very demanding on your mental and energetic peace and calm for sure.
My name is Nick, and I'm the founder of Yoga Agora. I have a training in Jivamukti, and the style of my teaching is a vinyasa style yoga practice with an emphasis on controlled breathing, pranayama, and deep meditation.
Do you remember when you made the choice of becoming a yoga teacher?
I do remember, yeah. It was in 2009, and to be frank about it, my motivation of becoming a yoga teacher was really because I needed a job. And I had a deep level of respect and interest in yoga practice. So I thought that my intentions of spreading yoga were pure, and I thought that a good way of supporting myself financially would be to teach.
And you remember your first yoga class that you gave?
Yeah, I do remember my first yoga class that I taught. And I was very excited teaching it. I had a lot of nervous energy, I suppose, because I was in a room full of relative strangers. So I spent most of the class just shouting instructions for asanas. Since then, I've managed to lower my voice a little bit.
What is the aim of yoga in your opinion?
To transcend suffering. By doing our best to break the bonds of attachment and desire, trying to reshape our brain to hold perspectives that allow us to appreciate what we have and live content without the things we don't have. It's hard. It's hard with so many interesting material things around us. It can be a real struggle to live happily without those attachments and desires. But through internal reflection, through controlled breath and meditation, I think that the brain can effectively transform and our perspectives can change, and we can find increasing levels of happiness independent of material things. Now in New York City, there's so many yoga teachers, yoga practitioners, yoga scholars, yoga philosophers, that everybody will have a different level of importance to the different aspects of yoga. For me personally, I go to a yoga class and I practice my yoga on a mat to come into a meditative state of mind and to slow down my breath so I can feel a bit more calm. But there are a lot of very earnest, well-intentioned yoga practitioners who want to improve their physical health, and they want to transform their bodies, and they want to expand the abilities of their bodies. And that's a great reason to practice yoga, absolutely. Over the years, my personal preferences and interests have steered me toward meditation and breathing. One of the strengths that I feel confident that I've been able to exhibit is that I've maintained a non-capitalistic approach to the way I've operated yoga as a business. And I think that capitalism, for all of its value, can be very dangerous when left unchecked. And I feel that the way that I have conducted business as an operator of a yoga studio is at a very balanced level of capitalism while maintaining the well-being of others. Our mission with the studio was to spread yoga as widely as we could. Our feeling is that the world is better served with more yoga practitioners. The lessons of yoga, the health benefits of yoga, and the social aspects of yoga help improve everyone's quality of life. So, with more people practicing, we have a better chance of spreading those lessons widely among the community. So how do we get more people to practice? Well, we need to break down as many barriers as we can for them to join in the practice. One barrier for some could be a financial barrier. So we made our mission to offer yoga classes for as little as we can, while still understanding we have to pay rent at the studio, we have to, pay supplies, we have to make sure the teachers are paid. But after those bare necessity expenses, we look to charge a fee that is as low as it can be. And that way we help eradicate any unnecessary obstacles that one might have to come to a yoga class.
In my mind, in my spirit, that's part of that huge surprise that happened for me a couple months into it. I would find myself at work in a situation where I would be angry or frustrated, lose my patience. I discovered yoga in those moments off my mat, if you will, and I had no idea that anything like that was part of what yoga was, and it completely transformed my life. And all I had to do was show up here in my neighborhood. And
you practice at home?
not much. I come here more because I love walking into this space and seeing people walking on the sidewalk from the windows and feeling presence and compassion and enthusiasm as I practice. It's pretty wonderful.
2014? Yeah, I think it's
Your first class, you remember?
Yeah, December 1st. It was with Nick too. I do remember that. And Nick was late, and I was like, yo.
That works?
Yeah, it works.
What do you prefer in yoga?
I'm really starting to like the pranayama and meditation practice. At first, I was really there for the asana and to help with my training with all the injury balance and stretching, and now I just got into it as a whole package. I became more self-aware. I felt like I was seeing the world through blurred glasses, and that someone cleaned those glasses almost through the practice, and I was actually able to see clearly through many situations, especially ones where people are not so nice or difficult.
What is your favorite yama?
I think satya, truthfulness. I think that for me, this world is very diverse, and there really is no black or white, at least as the way I see it. I don't think that there is much in the way of right and wrong, but there's only truth. And in my own experiences, when I have been disciplined enough to live my truth and speak my truth, I have found a better sense of contentment. When I try to determine what is right, what is wrong, I usually confuse myself. So satya, truthfulness, to me is the most important yama.
New York, and I teach vinyasa style power yoga and some yin yoga in New York City. I did my teacher training at Yoga Vita in Manhattan, and a mentorship as well. And we're here at Yoga Agora, where I teach most of my classes. And yeah.
Do you follow any specific tradition?
I guess the vinyasa style is more current. So it's like a mix of Ashtanga style, a little Iyengar, a little meditation is thrown in at the beginning and the end. So it's definitely new age yoga, I would say.
And that's the one that fits you?
Yeah, it fits me. My background is in dance. So it was kind of like a seamless transition into vinyasa. I actually started doing more of it because I had a couple injuries, a lot of tendinitis. And the fact that I was doing yoga regularly allowed me to have a lot less pain. And if I stopped doing yoga for 3 days, I could barely walk. So it was very healing for me, and I wanted to get back into movement. I wanted my career to be in movement. So this, although it has led to a few injuries, has definitely helped me overall. And then the teaching alone is just really healing, just helping other people. If you like to move and not stop moving, Vinyasa is your practice. If you like to focus a little bit more on building strength, holding the poses, proper alignment, that would be Iyengar, which I would love to explore eventually. But for now, my mind needs to be in a place where I'm continuously moving for me to kind of zen out and zone out. So that's why I personally prefer Vinyasa. But again, I would love to explore more the other, more focused styles one day, the older styles.